Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong one. No, that wasn't on Raw tonight. That one is located in Japan. I gotta remember that is in Japan, not America. Wrong club. I must have been thinking something different before I said that. It looked like them tonight, but I don't think it was them. So I gotta remember I'm putting up the wrong hat while doing that. Well, wake up. It's the first of the month, and Monday Night Raw, or as some people would say right now, under the Paul Heyman regime, as some would say. And what do I have to say about that? Huh? Was it a change tonight? Was it still crappy as usual? Because, what was it last week? As, WWE said, Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff are the executive directors of Raw and SmackDown, which Heyman controls Raw, which, to what I've heard, he controls the writers of Raw. But still, at the end of the day, you still have to filter this thing through Vince McMahon. Now, was there a change in this Heyman regime tonight? Or is it still the same show that we see every week that, of course, it's most likely going to be bad again? Because let's kick it off. July 1st at the American Airlines Center, Dallas, Texas, which also New Japan Pro Wrestling will be there this Saturday for the G1 tournament in that same venue. But we kicked it off with Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley in a Falls Count Anywhere match. So at least for once in a while, Monday Night Raw starts off with a wrestling match and not a promo segment, which pretty much both guys fought each other to the outside. Lashley ended up spearing Strowman into the, where the timekeeper's area was. Still kick out. They pretty much fought through the crowd. Of course, Strowman did his big, shove you to the ground thing, that running thing, which, he just, kind of like ran like a bull charge into him, knocking Lashley down. Lashley ended up, fighting Strowman all the way back to the stage area and everything, pretty much the entrance ramp almost. He did a suplex on him on the stage, but as he was getting ready to pose, Strowman pretty much ran up on Lashley and speared him through the video wall, which next thing you know, lots and lots of pyro pretty much, kept spraying everywhere for about a minute or two. There was like pyro, and you could audibly just hear Corey Graves, and this was uncensored too, by the way. There was no bleep or, trying to block it out. He pretty much said, "Holy shit," which you don't really hear that from a commentator. I think they meant to do that. And then next thing you know, the stage went dark. Fans were chanting, "Holy shit." They chanted, "This is awesome." And then it's like they had this camera shot at one point, like it was so far away. I guess they were trying to at least put a touch to it, because like, hey, half the system is out, so we gotta use this camera from somewhere. And they pretty much kept showing the EMTs putting both Strowman and Lashley on a stretcher. Now, in the first, I would say, almost 20 to 30 minutes of this show, I can already see people saying right now that this is pretty much ECW. Have we seen people get speared through the stage before? Yes. Have we seen Strowman do these crazy, insane stunts that he even pulled down the stage one time, if you don't remember that? Someone had to bring this up to me, especially with the, he pulled the stage on, Kane and Brock Lesnar at one point last year before the Royal Rumble. And we've seen Strowman do more crazy stuff, from flipping over cars and ambulances and other stuff. So this is kind of added to the Strowman, book of insane stunts here. Now, as for the stage thing, everybody said this is just pretty much literally a Paul Heyman idea. Like I said before, this is just straight up ECW, as some would say. Because you could see the elements in that of him doing the spear. And then pretty much right after, they kept showing them being stretchered in the ambulances. And they would have a medical update. And I want to say something, because I'm not going to keep going back and forth through this. Because I don't know if I was annoyed of this and that. Because they kept saying, our thoughts are with Strowman and Lashley. Listen, I get they're playing up. It was just because it's like a serious injury that both guys pretty much killed each other to crash into this thing. But they're not dead. You hear from people like Seth and Seth and Alexa Bliss say that, and announcers the whole night, pretty much talking about, both Strowman and, and Lashley just crashing through the entire thing. They just crashed it, but they got to keep playing it up that it was that serious. So it was a hot angle to at least kick off the show. It was a wrestling match, I will say that. For once, just started off no promo, and they were straight to the point. It was just matches, and I know some people don't like both of these guys because they're just bland and how creative it is. Screw with these guys, but at least they got the crowd. They started the crowd off right, getting them hot out there because as they were being carried away, and the stage is still dark. The Viking Raiders came out, which everything was just kind of black, so everything was just dark and everything. Next thing the New Day came out with Xavier Woods and Big E, which pretty much the screen worked again miraculously. There was a big hole to where Strowman speared Lashley through, but everything still worked after you had like a whole bunch of pyro shoot all over the place for a minute that someone had to say cut the power. But hey, it magically works again. That's WWE logic for you. But as for this tag team match, it ended up with Samoa Joe coming out attacking Xavier Woods, trying to choke him. Kofi Kingston came out for the save, then fighting Joe until the War Raiders attacked them, which I guess they're healed now, right? I'm gonna assume that they're heels. That's what I can. I'm just gonna say that they're allegedly they're heels. That's my only reasoning into this because I don't really know any other reason. Yeah, I don't really see any other reason behind that other than that. But I guess they're heels now since they helped Joe, which I didn't even know if they were heels or faces. And with that, as soon as they attacked each other and they went to commercial, what do you expect, people? A 6-man tag match. As as they said last week, I don't know if it's still a Fox move or a WWE move that they don't want wrestling during the commercial break. So it's, hey, DQ finish, 6-man tag, all of New Day versus Samoa Joe and the War Raiders, which just was not a bad match at all. I thought the 6-man was pretty good and the crowd was hyped up into it, I will say, for Dallas, Texas. But, it ended up with Kofi. I know he did Trouble in Paradise on Hanson off the on the apron. Joe ended up choking him out and putting him to sleep. I believe it's the first time Kofi Kingston has really lost a match in a very long time, ever since winning the WWE Championship. He has not literally lost one match until now. Now, should the challenger be pinning? Well, he didn't really pin or had him tap out, but he passed out. But should challenger be beating the champion right now before the pay-per-view, even though that's 2 weeks away? Does that kind of give away who's gonna win right now? Now, if you just had Joe choke out Woods or something, a Big E, maybe that would have been more understandable. But he choked out Kofi, which is the WWE champion. Now, I'm sure the argument of, listen, the champions, anyone that's a champion should not be losing on TV and stuff. But I know they gotta make Joe look credible, but could they have just beaten someone else of the New Day to do that instead of pinning the champion, which he's facing the champion in 2 weeks now? So why would you pin the champion? Beat what I can't even say. I'm trying to stop saying pin, but pass out the champion here. Like I say, he didn't tap, he didn't pin him, but Kofi passed out. But shouldn't you just be beating the champion in general before a pay-per-view in 2 weeks? Just think about that, people. Next, Rockstar Spud. I guess they showed what happened with him and his wife. The whole 24/7 title thing. So he pretty much had his wife blindfolded. What is her name? His wife, because she was on the Mae Young Classic. Renee Michelle, I think. I think I have that name right. I'm not sure. Please correct me if I have her name wrong. But he had her blindfolded. And pretty much this was supposed to be for a honeymoon. So she pretty much was like, you brought me to Monday Night Raw for our honeymoon? It's a horrible place. And he said, here, meet Dana Brooke. There she is. Who cares about Dana Brooke? And then his wife pretty much told him that you need to decide it's either me or the 24/7 title. He pretty much hugged her and said, it's always been you. Until True pretty much showed up looking, and he says, hey man, don't mind me, I'm in the mood for love, he said. And then he just sung his way on the wrong. His Truth just kind of, he just walked away, leaving Spud right there. So it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna go from here. So there you go. I'm done. I'm done. Hey, don't mind me. I got the title. It's your wife, man. There you go. Gallows and Anderson were in the back talking to AJ, as pretty much says, hey, you beat Ricochet last week, but you barely did it at the same time. And Gallows pretty much, and Anderson, they had a bet saying, I don't think you can beat Ricochet for the title. Why don't you do it tonight? And Anderson pretty much says, how about this? I'll put up my hot Asian wife, for this bet, which AJ pretty much accepted and left it. And even Anderson's like, I don't know if I should put my wife on it. Listen, I don't know what his wife looks like. He's always said his hot Asian wife, but I've never seen her. I guess I have to just go look it up myself. But it's kind of funny. Somebody said, why would AJ accept this bet? Of course, for the title and everything. But why would he accept this bet of Carl Anderson putting his wife on the line when he already has like a wife and like a whole bunch of kids? So why would he even accept to this and everything? So just why? This doesn't make sense when you actually think about it. No Way Jose was coming out. Cesaro was already in the ring. Why he just looked pissed to even be in this match in general, it looked like. Spud and his wife were pretty much in the front row. R-Truth came out with No Way Jose and pretty much, put the belt in front of him. Like, what you gonna choose, man? He pretty much started getting up, looking at the belt as his wife pretty much is like, see the me of the title, man. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? It's the title or your wife? Think about it. And then next, the usual suspects pretty much came out, chased after Truth. Cesaro pretty much beat up No Way Jose and hit him with a neutralizer, leaving him there. The NXT Tag Team Champions were here, the Street Profits, which, by the way, I didn't say this at the beginning, but at the beginning of the show, they pretty much gave away their surprise, because when Raw was starting up before Strowman came out, someone in production or Kevin Dunn or whoever did this pretty much showed the Street Profits on TV for like 2 seconds before they split back to Strowman's entrance. You could clearly see them right there. Okay, like right there, like just 2 seconds. So someone is probably getting in big trouble just for giving the surprise away. And they're here, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford pretty much talking about their Raw debuts, and pretty much says that they want all the smoke. They were singing it. I'm wondering why they were here, and I'm going to get to them later on also with the Street Profits, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to why they were here. Drew McIntyre and Shane were headed to the ring. The Miz was in the back talking about he has to face Elias again in this 2 out of 3 falls match. Why does anybody want to see this match again? It wasn't good on SmackDown. Why do you want to see this again? And of course, he wants to talk about Shane and, and stuff. He's going to send Elias back to the subway to play his music. And that the Undertaker's going to get Shane, because, the Undertaker's in the building tonight. Shane and Drew came out. Shane does his usual entrance with the best in the world. I don't think Mike Rome can hold it well enough. You heard a few CM Punk chants at one point. And pretty much Shane and Drew were talking about the Undertaker and Roman Reigns. They talked about it last week. And that, they're looking forward to this match. And they're going to put the big dog and the Phenom into the ground. McIntyre pretty much says Undertaker is one of the greatest legends in the history of the WWE. And he struck fear into the hearts of many people he's ever faced. But McIntyre says he's not an ordinary man. And he's a hybrid of each generation and everything. And he doesn't give a damn about the Undertaker, pretty much. McIntyre pretty much said, they heard rumors that the dead man would be here, so come on, you just come out right now and do your little appear, teleport neck, and let's do this, okay? Next thing you know, there was thunder around, and the lightning bolts hit the, they hit the ring, which I almost thought this was a Sting and WCW entrance at one point. And there were clouds of smoke. Next thing you know, the gong hit, Undertaker comes out, does his usual entrance. And pretty much says that, Roman Reigns never asked for his help, so why are you here? And that's not who he is, as Undertaker said. But if you want answers to why I am doing this, he wanted to explain who he was, of course. He is the Reaper of Wayward Souls. He collects souls. This is just, you know, this is anything. This is any day of Undertaker you're gonna hear about Souls and Reaper, and, you know, talked about respect. And he said that, you know, Shane has respect for a little while, you know, back a few years ago at WrestleMania when they did that Hell in a Cell match, and, you know, Shane was actually able, you know, be alive to tell the story about it. But, you know, just like mortal men, you fell victim to your own greed and ego. Pretty much, you know, you want to say you're the best in this world, but the world I'm sending you to, it's going to be a lot of suffering and torment, the torture of arched stench of death, as he said. So he would send him to the Shadow Realm, I am assuming, or to the Reaper's Yard, or the Graveyard, and, you know, all eternity, you two will never rest in peace. So, listen, you know, this is, you know, typical Undertaker promo. This is any other Undertaker promo you ever heard. Souls, death. We're gonna take your souls, graveyards. Souls. This is the Undertaker. Souls. That's the Undertaker. Okay. But pretty much right after, but here's was the weird part, because Undertaker's still in the ring and he's doing the whole throat thing. They go to Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin in the back, as Corbin's pretty much talking about Seth Rollins, and, you know, talk about, you know, why you done all of this stuff to get that Universal title, fighting Brock Lesnar, but you're not gonna put it online for this. Is she worth it? And Lacey Evans said that the man is a persona, and that she's gonna put Becky in her place, and that, you know, Becky will put it all in the Rollins, and that the man's man won't be able to keep his eyes off of her, and that Becky will realize that you should never put trust in him. And the strange thing is this. They do this promo, right? They do the promo, and then they put the camera back on Undertaker so he can just do this thing at the end when he just looks behind, and then, you know, he does this at the end. So, what was the point of doing this Lacey and Baron Corbin promo, just them randomly standing in the back, but you got to, what? You just played that, and I don't know, I guess the crowd had to look at the monitor in the crowd. It's like the crowd had to look at the monitor at this promo, and then they had to go back to Taker so he can do this, and then do this, and to be on his way in. So that was strange to me. Lacey Evans went against Natalya. I don't know. It's not much to say from this match. I just know they had Seth and Becky looking in the back. Corbin tripped Natalya. The fans booed. Lacey hit with that woman's right. Whatever. I don't really care. So, there you go. Ricochet was talking to Charlie Caruso in the back as they were talking about AJ Styles. And it was an honor to face AJ Styles, that he said. But he didn't know if he brought the full AJ Styles out there tonight, last week. But Gallows and Anderson came up and pretty much said that Styles could have put him down if he wanted to, and that the real Styles and everything, you know, as beating him, you know, could beat him from the go. And Ricochet pretty much says, you know, I could beat AJ Styles anytime, pretty much. So Gallows and Anderson pretty much said, you know, hey, you don't be in trouble with us. You gotta be in trouble with someone else, alright? Miz is on his way to the ring. By the way, I'm glad I saw this tonight. Once again, one of Bray Wyatt's puppets were in the back. I believe it was the Mercy the Buzzard. So you gotta watch those things closely. I don't know if I caught all of them tonight, but I know I caught that one. You gotta watch when people come into the ring. I'm sure we'll see more of this on SmackDown tomorrow night, but the puppets are around, and, you know, his return is imminent. Styles end up then looking for Ricochet in. Pretty much saying, what have you been talking about me? He says, how about we do it tonight? Put the belt on the line tonight. Okay, Ricochet's out. I don't know what you're fired up for, but hey, we'll do it. Styles slapped him as Ricochet tried to shake his hand. Ricochet slapped him, and AJ said this is going to be good. Miz went against Elias in its best 2 out of 3 falls. I do not care. What was it? Skull crushing finale in like 9 seconds, and Elias hit the drift away in like, what, seconds later. And I know they came back from commercial, and he did that figure 4, or was it a figure 8? I don't even know. Dude, Miz won. Who cares? Okay, who really cares about this match? I didn't care about it on SmackDown. I don't care about it now. Well, moving on. I don't even know where any of these two are going. Miz, they still gotta keep him in the loop against Shane. I don't even like face Miz anyway that much. Elias is so dead, I don't even know anymore, okay? Next thing you know, they went to Seth and Becky. Oh, you want to talk about cringe right here? So a lot of people were saying tonight about these two. As Rollins, of course, Brian and Bobby, we're thinking about him. Once again, I brought that up. Rollins pretty much talked about that Seth, if he's, impulsive. And even Becky asked if Seth was impulsive. She does it's like doing all that and stuff. And Rollins pretty much says, the stakes have been raised. We've beaten them before, but now we've got to face both of them in an Extreme Rules match. By the way, I forgot to mention that. And one of us could be pinned if necessary. Yes, for that reason, no. Because what did they try to do? Because they pretty much talked about the titles and how Becky pretty much said that the title and everything. One of them could be lucky at this, but I think she said she sleeps with the title, which Seth said that is true. And pretty much, what will be the plan in this? Which he says, yeah, you got lucky. Becky pretty much, I guess, was just trying to grab him down there to kind of start playing for a minute. Next you know, Maria shows up. As she pretty much talked about Seth and Becky, trying to say you say you're the first couple of WWE, which she says you're not. Mike Bennett comes in. By the way, none of these two had no reaction. As Maria pretty much said that Becky, you boast about beating Ronda Rousey and, and everything, but I pushed an 8-pound baby out of my uterus, as she says. As Maria pretty much said that Rollins doesn't impress her, and that, her husband's getting a chance now to take that title from you, and how about me and my bitch take on you and yours, as she said. Maria pretty much, that's pretty much what she said. Becky pretty much says, how about I slap the dopes off of both of your heads, or the heads off of both of your dopes right there. As Seth said, y'all messed up now. Listen, I got a lot to say about this. And this, first off, I don't even know what their gimmick is anymore. Because Seth and Becky end up facing both of them. Mike Bennett's supposed to tag to Maria. Maria can't tag because she kept saying she was pregnant. As Becky wouldn't hit a pregnant women, but pretty much she kept saying, how are you pregnant? And pretty much says, I don't know, because I don't think you're man enough to get me pregnant. Next thing you know, Becky pretty much, makes Mike tap out with the disarmer. And as they left, Maria pretty much said, I can't believe you're the father of our children. And, I waited for you to grow up and take responsibility, but you're not even the only man in the ring. She says that maybe next time I'll ask Becky to impregnate me. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I'm sure a lot of people think that's gonna be hot if that was ever seen. But first off, there's a lot of things to say. Number one, I didn't even know Mike Bennett and Maria were still in this company. Okay, I didn't even know they still existed. Number two, what if they complaining and being on 205 not that long ago and stuff about just being on the show, and they were just complaining about being in WWE. And I remember when they brought out their contracts and everything, people on the internet were hoping to God they leave because they felt like it was just a waste of space that literally are doing nothing on there. Listen, I don't watch 205 Live, so I don't even know what Mike Bennett and Maria are doing. I didn't even know that was Mike Bennett, since I guess he got a new haircut and new gear and stuff. I guess he got to make the 205 Live wait, but still, I didn't know he was still there. The guy looks really different now to what I remember him from, and he's pretty. This whole gimmick of this whole thing was him being a cuck at first, but now he's pretty much he is a bitch. That's pretty much what he is. His wife makes him look like a bitch now. That's pretty much what this whole thing is. And these two signed a 5-year deal, and you put them. I was surprised they went on Monday Night Raw in general. So he signed a 5-year deal just to get punked out by his wife now. That's what it is. He is a cuck. That's how the whole gimmick was before when they were on SmackDown. I don't know what they do on 205 Live. People hoping they were going to leave. People don't even know why they understand if they even re-signed to begin with. Because, they probably just would have ended up on what? Not 205, not Raw or anything, but what is it, catering? If they signed up, they just get paid to do nothing. So I don't even know why they were here. I don't really care about both of them in general. And I've spoke kind of a little bit highly about Mike Bennett in the past, mostly due to his TNA run. I thought the Miracle thing was good, and I'm not sure about the Kingdom thing and Ring of Honor, but I don't know what this is or what this is supposed to be now at this point. But it amazes me now, why did they sign a 5-year deal if I knew this was going to be the case? Because this is dumb, okay? I didn't know they were even on 205 Live, and I don't watch the show, so I can't really tell you nothing about it. And I don't think this crowd even know who they were. They don't even know who they were. I don't think they had any clue to who these two were. They was like, maybe Maria, if you know like that, but just both of them in general, they got no crowd reaction when they came out there. Literally no reaction, which I wonder why they are still even under contract. But hey, they complain about their contracts and stuff on Twitter, but you still signed a 5-year TV deal. So I don't know. It's a lot of things that don't make sense in this whole. I just surprised they were even on TV in general tonight. I just didn't even know they were still there at this point. I swear to God, I don't. And I think people were just hoping they leave, but they're still in the contract. So there you go. Paul Heyman showed up then. As Caruso was about to say something, which I'm sure everybody say he's the one running this show. I don't know who's running or writing this show. Is this still in the Vince or is it still in the Paul Heyman? Which the people cheered. Of course, he's got to make sure, Money in the Bank and advocate for Brock Lesnar that it's been a weird night for Seth Rollins and a bad night for Kofi Kingston, but it's a perfect night for Brock to cash in the Money in the Bank. Next, the Street Profits show up, and it's Heyman. Yeah, Heyman. And Heyman said he was a busy man, and he says, I'm going to go this way. And he says, Paul. And, I remember one point Montez Ford said, finally. And then what Dawkins said, we don't do that. First off, why were the Street Profits there now at this point? What were they there for? To what? Make jokes with Paul Heyman? I don't know. Well, why? And they just won the NXT titles not that long ago. So why were they here? They didn't have a match. I don't know what their purpose was of being here. Were they there to be funny? I'm really trying to understand this. This was just very strange to me. What was the point of being on TV if they were not going to do anything? I was just surprised they even brought them on Raw in general. And they didn't even wrestle anybody. It's like they were there. They were there for no reason. I don't even understand why they were there. They just... I don't know, man. I've said things about their gimmick in the past and stuff, but I don't know what they were doing on Raw tonight in the segment with Heyman. Say Paul, and the solo cups and what I know the cup thing is probably a gimmick and stuff, but still, I don't know what they're supposed to be doing on Raw. I don't get it. Alexa Bliss, moment of piss, bliss, whatever. Had Nikki Cross come out. As she up there winning an opportunity to get a rematch for the SmackDown Women's title, with her beating Bayley last Tuesday. Cross said, Bliss is gonna be the first person pretty much to give her open arms on Raw, and they were friends. Carmella came out then, pretty much talking about Bliss, and Bliss asked, since you're so desperate and attention and everything to ruin Nikki's, you're just a sidekick. You're just our true sidekick. But Carmella challenged her, which she ended up beating her in 6 seconds with a roll-up pin. And then next thing you know, from this squash match, after the squash, we go to commercial again, and then she's in a match with Nikki Cross after that. So after this restart or whatever this was, Nikki Cross ended up beating Carmella with the neck breaker for the pin. They then went to Cher Schreiber to interview them then after that. Interview him saying that since Cross won, the fans want her for the women's title, and that they don't want Alexa Bliss, as Alexa got pissed and pushed Nikki out of the way, said no comment. Spud and his wife were leaving in the back, I guess leaving the arena with their luggage. and he wanted, just want to tell her that, I know you put a lot in me, a couple of months, but he wanted to make sure, that this honeymoon is great. She was gonna go freshen up. Next thing you know, the usual people chased Truth in. Truth was hiding. He finally came out. As Spud was talking to him, pretty much they just want to go on this honeymoon. But as Truth turned around, Spud hit him with his suitcase, pinned him, and now he's become the 24/7 champion. His wife showed up and says, "Listen, we can do anything we want to now. We're gonna have a honeymoon 24/7." As Truth looked confused in after he lost the championship. So the hunt for the 24/7 title continues, and we got a new champion tonight. Ricochet then went against AJ Styles for the U.S. title, which, of course, we have a false finish, which AJ hit the phenomenal forearm, and Ricochet had his foot on the bottom of the ropes. And right now the referee came out, restart the match after the commercial. And this match wasn't really that bad for the time given. It was only shorter. Even though we saw this match last week, except this week, Ricochet ended up rolling with a roll-up then for the win. AJ Styles looked very confused. AJ offering a handshake. Ricochet shook his hand. Gallows and Anderson pretty much was gonna, come in ringside, slap, clapping. But AJ pretty much told him to hold back. He ended up hitting Ricochet in as they pretty much jumped. They started jumping Ricochet. It was a magic killer. And then AJ set up for a Styles clash off the top rope on the Ricochet to the ground as they all held up the Too Sweet sign. They said the club is back. I know it's Japan. We can't say Bullet Club, but it's some sort of club. It's just we can't say Bullet Club. Okay, so there you go. So, I guess with this version of the club, AJ, so I guess AJ's pretty much heel at this point, okay? That's the thing. Now, I still question why AJ would be going after the U.S. title and not the Universal Championship, because you were just fighting for the Universal title. Why are you fighting for the secondary title and not the bigger title? But I guess if the club is now in this, we'll see what happens then from that. But as for Raw itself, it looked like it was kind of good in the beginning. And then next thing you know, a lot of crappy things come involved throughout the entire night for stuff that didn't make sense. I don't understand why the Street Profits were there. Mike Bennett and Maria are just horrible, which now, I said, like I said before, I said his gimmick was being a cuck. So this is just furthering it now more and more, which I don't even know where that's going to go at this point. Of course, commercials, tag matches. I did the first hour, even up to Undertaker at that point. I don't know, stuff like it just kind of started riding the rails. And then I don't know who this show is under. The ECW thing with the whole the whole Strowman and Lashley spearing through the thing. I could see if it had Heyman's influence on it, but I don't know if was it really a change tonight. I don't know. Listen, maybe I need to give this time. I don't really know what to think of this. Maybe we should wait till SmackDown tomorrow. Maybe we should just give this a week. That's all I'm gonna say. Because if Heyman and Bischoff are really controlling these shows right now, like I said, it still filters through Vince McMahon. But I don't know who this was under tonight. Maybe both ideas. And let's be honest here, people. Paul Heyman was writing for SmackDown at one point. Okay. He was. The only difference thing was that him and Vince kept butting heads, and one of them had to go, and we all know who ended up going. Now, I don't know who else is in control of this at this point. I'm not sure, but I don't know if it's Vince, Stephanie, or whoever's in control of creative right now, or the idiots in creative just write horrible stuff too in general. But I don't know. What did you think about Monday Night Raw? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was there really a change? Or was it the same old crap that you usually see from this show? I don't know. Maybe this was under Paul Heyman. I don't know. Like I said, give it a week. I'm just going to say give it a week. Because tonight, Dallas wasn't a bad crowd. It got good in like the first probably 30, 40, 50 minutes. But then after that, just still some bad idea. I just think the commercial thing is mostly probably ridiculous to me at this point. The commercial thing is just, I don't know. They need to work with that because I'm not sure where they're going with this. But we'll see what happens on SmackDown. But enough with the rematches, okay? I don't need to see Miz versus Elias again. I didn't care for it last week. I don't care about this week, nor do I care about it all. And it was the same 2 out of 3 falls match. Literally like the same thing you could just play from SmackDown from last week. So that's my opinion of it. But I don't know. Tell me what you thought about this show. Well, Fyter Fest was better than this. Or any other wrestling that was going around this weekend. But tell me what you thought about Raw. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. Did you like this show? Did you hate this show? What do you think about any of this show tonight, huh? I'm not even what to think right now. But I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.